All right, BJ Smith. We are rocking and a fucking rolling.
Sweet.
How are you doing today, brother?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So we're just gonna just keep doing what we've been doing, dude. Just keep it going. But shit, you've had quite an interesting journey along the way. I want to do just a little bit of a recap to kind of where we are today for you. You you owned actually I want to know before you owned NFA. So you owned NFA, you said, for 8 years?
Yeah, we started in 2010, and our first show was in 2011.
Okay.
We kind of tackled it. We went to a show. I was like, I think we can do this. At
Yeah.
the time, I was training Destruction MMA, so I knew a lot of the fighters. I got along with everybody really great and
Yeah.
built that relationship first.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think we can do this. So I started it in 2010, basically just trying to get everything in order. Talked to Jason Cooper,
Yeah.
because he like he tells everybody, he's like, this is hard. You can lose a lot of money. I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you could if you just jump into it. And I've seen it along the way. I've seen guys just come in and then,
Oh yeah.
they're out. It's like anything else. You have to build it. And we built it in 2010. Our first show was October 2011, and it was pretty unbelievable. It was great.
Yeah.
And then had a turnaround show, 2 months later in February 2012 at the same place.
Okay.
And both places, it's at the Teamsters Hall, which is coincidentally my union hall now.
Okay.
And I wasn't with AB yet. But we had those two shows. They were like we couldn't get any more people in that building. It was
Yeah,
so
it just
crazy.
sold out.
Yeah, yeah.
So what took, so you started in 2010, what all kind of went into like that? It took like a year to build up to the first show, right?
Yep.
Like what all goes into that? Like why so long?
To me, there's so much planning. When guys jump into this and they're having their shows, they think it's going to be one of these things. You set up a cage, you get a couple people to fight, and that's it.
Okay.
To me, the way I am, there's just way more into it. I wanted to have an experience that was not just inside the cage, but outside of the cage.
Yeah.
When I go to rock concerts or any concerts at all, what I like to do, or not what I like to do, but what I enjoy the most, I guess you could say, is the intros to all these bands.
Yeah.
I love the anticipation and the build-up, so I wanted our shows to feel like that.
Yeah.
So we started having like video intros, but it was all like this anticipation like built up, and then boom,
Yeah.
then the guys take the stage. The fighters take the stage and do their thing. But I wanted to make that experience
Yeah.
as awesome as possible.
Yeah.
So I started with designs. Had Eric Irvin help me with the designs initially,
Yeah. The graphics.
and just looked into insurance, what I need to do through the city.
Yeah, getting licensed, I imagine that's probably a fucking
It's about
quite a process.
and I wanted to be legit about it too. So I got my LLC, first and foremost, make sure that was kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
Got my insurance in order, because when it comes to that stuff, you have insurance not only for the fighters the night of, but you have insurance for the spectators and the venue and just things like that. Some people don't pay that. They don't even.
Oh, really?
And I'm just like, no way, man.
Yeah.
I know too many crazy people and
Yeah.
seen too many buildings destroyed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be paying for any
For
of that.
So that first year was just kind of like researching and
Yep.
just figuring out
Just
like
building
what,
it up, kind of.
yeah, all the logistics and just like the foundation, infrastructure.
I probably
as well.
worked on the fight card for probably 4 or 5 months.
Oh yeah, yeah. Matching can really be difficult. I mean, if you're trying to put together good matches, right, that are similar skill sets, and there's going to be a good fight, it's going to be entertaining, and they're going to sell tickets because you have to take that into consideration, right?
Yep.
So, man, and then make sure they're going to show up and they're reliable because let's
Yeah,
be
and
honest.
with amateurs, you can't put them on any kind of contract. You just treat them right.
Yeah.
You just treat them right.
That's all you can do. Yeah, I do like how now amateurs have to get blood work.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
This was something that we were doing when I still owned the NFA.
Yeah.
I was pushing for it. I've always, been straight with that as far as why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it just makes sense. It's just the safety for the fighters and
and then
everybody involved.
you have some of the guys that are like, I don't think we should pay for it. I'm a guy that has so many hobbies that cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've probably spent $100,000 plus on hobbies,
Yeah.
my whole life.
Just things that you enjoy.
It's
It's a part of
just
it.
do
I
it.
mean, yeah, it's,
Just do it.
these are the dues that are. I mean, that's what you have to pay. So yeah, and it's no different as a pro. You have to get your own blood work, right? So just get used to it now.
Well, yeah, the counter argument, they're like, well, the pros get paid. Well, yeah, they're also at a higher level, so to speak.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those things. We
I mean,
might
as
not
an
always agree,
as
but,
an amateur, you could probably find a sponsor though, right? I mean,
well, back then when I started, they were really like, oh, these guys can't be getting anything with any kind of monetary value. And I'm like,
so somebody couldn't like pay for their test for them,
they could pay for their
That's
test
what I'm saying.
and I think their gym.
right? Their gym fees,
Yeah,
right?
it was very gray when
Yeah.
when it was explained to me.
That's funny, dude. So when was your last show? When did you move on from it?
I believe it was it October 2016 or 17?
Okay, cool. So you guys had a good little run there.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
and I'm happy to say, and I mean, I try to do this and let people know I'm not bragging. I've never had a show where I lost money.
Nice.
That was something that I feel that I put a lot of time and effort into making sure that we had successful shows.
Yeah.
And
You put in the work, right? I mean,
I was a matchmaker too.
yeah.
When at the end of the day,
Those are long fucking days, dude. A lot of phone calls, a
oh
lot
my
of
God,
emails,
my wife hated it.
dealing with people of no pride professionalism.
And not everyone has the same work schedule. So you got
Yeah.
guys who are working midnights.
Yeah, fighters, dude. I mean, a lot of them are just people working and training, and you got every level of like dedication. But dude, yeah, they work all sorts of crazy schedules.
It,
And then, did you have issues with fighters like not being able to get off work?
yeah, I've heard every excuse
Oh
in the
yeah,
book. It's
it's crazy,
it's just
dude.
part of it. But then
Yeah,
I've had guys like I have a list of guys that have stepped up when they might not have. They shouldn't have taken fights, but me back then, of course, I'm pushing my show because the show has to go on.
yeah,
So I'm pushing it. But I have a list of guys that I call, and man, they're there and they're there to fight. And
yeah,
that's what I liked. I also liked, talking to these guys. They're not just some, corporate number to me either.
yeah,
I was pretty friendly with most of these guys. I had them all on Facebook, and when I would create a show, I would make a group chat with all the fighters.
yeah,
So I mean, all the accountability's there, but I'm asking them questions. I'm talking to them about like their life.
yeah,
It's just not like you selling tickets. You selling tickets.
yeah. Some people are like
I asked
that.
them. I pushed it. Don't get me wrong. I did push it.
Oh, you have to. I mean, that's how you're doing business, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't feel bad for that. I had a lot of money involved in it.
Yeah,
I pushed tickets, but I didn't push tickets like if you don't sell this many tickets or if you don't sell these, you're not fighting. That is something I would never ever say. And
right.
couldn't.
It's not with anything in life. It's not what you say. It's how you say it, right? So, I mean, you wouldn't be doing your job if you weren't, at least, reminding
Exactly.
these guys like, hey, man, like, where you at on tickets? Like, is there like, can I help you? So, like, what can we do? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Because like, did you give the fighters graphics?
Like their own.
Yeah,
Uh, that would almost depend on the show.
yeah,
Sometimes I'm like, yeah, we put their posters, we get their faces on the posters, but
right.
then
Just something real
we
simple.
got to a point where we're like, well, shit, 4 of these guys are already gone.
Oh yeah,
So it's already hard enough to get everyone together at the same spot. It's another thing because I have a career outside of this.
Yeah.
I didn't do this full time for
so
me.
during this time you had a job.
Yeah, so I'm like taking off work early, meeting fighters. It's hard. It's hard to get them in the same spot to weigh in, let
Yeah.
alone
Yeah.
go everywhere.
Well, you gotta have them send you a photo.
Yeah, well, and then I got to the point where I'm crazy about that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
God, what'd you take this?
Photo
on?
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you take this on a potato? What happened?
Man, dude, the many challenges. So before you started that, you already were in your career, and you just decided one day you just wanted to also start this.
Well, I went to college for heating and cooling. I
Uh-huh.
worked at a funeral home while I went to college,
Nice.
which is always a good talking point. People are like, that explains a lot.
You
But
have like a dark sense of humor,
oh, it's almost too bad. So
for
it's
real.
bad sometimes where I say something and then I'm like, God, what the hell's wrong with you?
It's like you're hearing it at the same time everybody else is.
Oh man, it sometimes it's rough, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But I went to college for heating and cooling. So I get out of college, I immediately got a job, which was I'm lucky for or thankful for.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the thing about trade schools, right? I mean, well, one, you went to school probably what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Exactly, and then you immediately get out and you get to go to work, right? And then you're probably not left with a shit ton of debt from that schooling, I'd imagine.
No, and what's crazy is I went to Vatterott and talked to them. I went to Rankin and talked to them.
Yeah,
We're talking like 25 to $40,000,
yeah,
and I got the same exact certificate and everything I needed from a college in Union, East Central College,
nice.
for like 5 grand.
Exactly, dude. And yeah, trade schools are, yeah, some of them, those ones like that can be pretty expensive. But even like kids coming out of high school, like at least here in Missouri, I know there's like the A plus program that usually pays for
Yep.
that. So like it's just such a viable option.
And that's just the way to go. Not that I'm if you're trying to get an education, I'm all for it, but
Yeah, I'm just so there's just so many ways to get an education,
yeah.
and I'm at the kind of point where I feel like if you want to go to college, like that's totally cool. I don't feel like that's the place you should go find yourself. And I'm always kind of a little conflicted on that actually
No,
because
I agree. I
yeah,
agree with that.
I actually took a finance course and I didn't take it into my very last year. I switched I switched between a couple different majors and I ended up just on business administration because I wanted to be done within 4 years. And I took a finance course and the teacher was so cool and I really liked it. If I would have taken that course earlier, like I probably would have been a finance major. So I can kind of understand where it's like, oh man, sometimes you take a course and it can literally spark the like where you kind of go. But on that same note, I'm also like to the point to where it's like, is that really the place to be trying to find yourself to where you're racking off like all that debt and you're just like, what are you really doing there? You could be
Yeah.
doing something
No, I
else with your
agree.
life. So now I'm just really to the point to where I feel if you want to go to college, totally cool. If you have the money and it's you can blow it while you're trying to figure yourself out, go ahead and do that. But for most people, I would say that I wouldn't go to college until you're like you know what the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean? Especially if you're going to be like a doctor, a lawyer, or something like that. You definitely need to go to college. But if you're just trying to make it in the world as far as like being an entrepreneur or building a business or a brand or something, just go out and do it.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. But with that point you said, doctor or lawyer, that is you going to college with a specific mindset
You know
of
what
what
you
you're
Yeah,
doing.
you know what you want to do. I think that's whenever it's like when you know what you want to do, go do it.
Yeah. I mean, you got so many people that go to college for. I mean, they go to college because they're like, well, this is what you do after
That's what I
high
did.
school.
Like that's what you're supposed to do. Like yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd probably would definitely be a loser if I didn't. You know what I
Me,
mean?
I was like, okay, I graduated high school. I'm done with schooling forever now.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, so I when I graduated college, I didn't have a terrible ton of debt. I went back to grad school I worked in the corporate world for a while, and I had my degree, and I quickly realized like it can kind of get your foot in the door. But at least at the company I was, I mean, I was at Express Scripts and I was working in a call center, dude, and they wouldn't really hire from that pool of people to like go over to. So that's like an operational side of things. Like you're just like a frontline employment job. They weren't really hiring from like that section of the company to like go on to like other areas of the
Yeah, I
business and
gotcha.
like get
I gotcha.
promotions. So I was like, man, I got to get my fucking master's. And I went and did that. And it actually did help me get like a better job within the company. But I'm just like, now I kind of know what I know now. And me not even being in the corporate space anymore, I don't even know. I don't know if it was worth it. I mean, I guess it can be worth it if you want to do that, but I was never happy doing that. Like, I was never even able to be like my authentic self, like working in that
Oh yeah, for
environment.
sure.
So it's like, man, I don't know if it was worth it, dude. I just don't. But you're told it is. That's what we're told, especially here in the Midwest. I mean,
Yeah, you
here in Missouri,
that
that's what
is
you're told.
expected from you. Either, when I was growing up, it seemed like most guys would go to either guys and girls would either go to college, would join the military,
Yeah,
or would end up just doing construction,
yeah.
straight out of school. Like I know a guy now, he's one of my best friends, but he had been doing like masonry stuff while we were in school, and now he owns like a successful like masonry business now.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, no schooling. I mean that you say that and people automatically default to like, oh, they're kind of dumb. Like, no, no, no. This guy
No.
has a better business sense than most people that go to
Right.
school.
Dude, you can get an amazing education just by reading books and listening to podcasts and just educating yourself. Like that's the thing. Like you can get and really universities the information that they're teaching is usually older information. It takes a while for information to actually disseminate into the masses.
Well, yeah, and I mean they're picking what
What
to
to
share
teach.
with you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's and just the way the world is right now. It's so crazy. Like how easy it is to sway things, especially with the way social media is now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can find an opinion of yours that is complete bullshit. I mean, complete bullshit. But you can find a way to almost prove that bullshit correct,
Yeah, man.
and it's scary because people come to debate you sometimes, or you're just talking and you're looking at them like, where did you hear this shit?
Yeah.
Oh, I got sources. You're so.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got to be careful with the information that you're getting for sure because you can definitely find something to support both sides, which is good, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, oh
to try
yeah.
to find a balanced perspective, but like you said, if it's just some way off shit, like the Earth is flat,
I
I'm not about it. It's
yeah.
not flat.
uh, That's not. We don't have time for this podcast or that
We don't have time, but no. When you're talking about your friend, it made me think about. I just sat down with a husband-wife couple, and the husband, his name is Josh Kahneman, and he started his company K Build. He didn't graduate high school even, and now he's crushing it. And he's a very smart guy, and he has like all of the characteristics and traits of a successful person. He's disciplined. He seeks knowledge. He's always trying to be better. You know what I mean?
one. Yeah.
Like you can do it. A lot of people have, always will.
It's so weird because I mean, even guys I work with, guys I grew up with, they see this success as a number from their own perspective.
What do you mean?
It's like is he successful? Did he graduate school? Like I know guys who think
Yeah.
if you can make 300, 400, $500,000 a year, and if you didn't graduate school, they're gonna see that as like, oh,
Yeah, that's
and
just
I'm
their
just
own
like,
ego and
yeah,
judgment, though. They
but
got some own things they got to work through.
yeah, but I mean, on the flip side of that, you got guys who can, make a lot of money, but they don't have a family. They're kind of just they're not people oriented. They're like money oriented.
Yeah, they're not
They
like a
might have a
complete
huge
person.
education, but I mean, do you start wondering, is that successful to you?
Yeah,
You
well, how do
know,
you define success?
that's what I mean. That's
Right.
so
Success can mean anything.
so you're basically judging somebody off of your perspective of success
Hmm.
and your outlook, which I mean, to 10 other people in the room might just sound crazy to you.
Right.
I I always tell people this because I'd like to retire when I'm 55. No matter what, that's just my number. I've seen too many guys retire in the sheet metal business at 60 and then they live 3, 4 years and die.
Yeah.
To me, that is not what it's about at all. It baffles me that is how humans work.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna work our ass to the bone. Some of these guys are with really hard jobs. We are gonna work, 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 retire, and then all of it's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, retirement, I don't know what that even means.
I mean, yeah. It's so odd to me. So I always told myself I'd like to retire when I'm 55.
Hmm.
The rebuttal I get with that mostly is, oh, you ain't gonna have enough in, your 401k, pension, Social Security won't be there. I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
I've been poor and very happy before. It's not something poor financially, I should say.
Yeah.
I've been poor and I was extremely happy with my life.
Yeah. I like to distinguish those. I like to say like so like that's being broke. Like you're broke, right? You don't have
Yeah,
any
I'm
money,
broke.
but like poor is a mentality.
Yeah. Uh, as far as life goes, yeah, you're absolutely right. Rich and poor, you know, what you might consider rich, I'm going to be like, that guy or gal, they don't have that life that I want.
Yeah.
A lot of money with no family, that ain't for me, no matter the money.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone wants money because that's how this country works.
Well, I mean, you still have to play the system, right?
Yeah,
And
you do.
it's not cool to be broke. Like it's not like here's the thing, you don't need a lot to live, right? I
No.
mean, you can actually live on a whole lot less than people do. Like it's not like you have to try to keep up with the Joneses and have a lot of nice shit. If that's what you want, that's totally cool too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm not against like people that want nice lavish things, right? Like there's those, but like me, like I mean, you look around my apartment, I don't have a lot of shit. I mean, I here's the thing, I don't like a lot of things, but the things I like cost a lot. You know what I'm
I'm,
saying?
I'm the same way. I'm the
So
same
it's
way.
like it's like I'm not cheap, but like I don't need a lot of things, and I live well below my means, right? So that's how I'm able to try, do my own thing and like
Yeah.
work on my own business and building my own brand, right? So I mean, shit, dude, you can measure success in any way.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I know plenty of people that make a lot of money and they can't miss a day of work.
Yeah,
They have and I mean, don't get me wrong, they have some nice things,
yeah.
but they can't miss work because of it.
Yeah, they just have like one piece of the puzzle solved.
Yeah, I'm in a situation now where, I do love my career. I work for Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
It's a good career, but if I were to miss, here's a perfect example. Last July, I broke my foot at
Yeah.
Elephant Rocks.
Oh,
Landed awkward, blew my foot completely out.
dang, dude.
I was out for 3 months.
Yeah, you been rehabbing that thing?
Yeah.
Feet are so important.
Oh yeah. About 2 months ago is when the pain started going away to where I could actually start running again.
Yeah, well, running can be hard, especially just depending on what your form is like, but just like stretching it, doing just different mobility and strengthening things. I ask because, dude, I have terrible ankles just from shoes aren't good for your feet. Like we actually walk, most of the shoes have an elevation on the heel, which
Yeah.
keeps your foot in like a constant flexion. So, like me, I have really tight ankles, so it can like create this tightness. I mean, the body's a chain, so kind of all up the line can affect your knees, can affect your hips, can affect everything. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just always big. I'm just trying to stretch my ankles every day. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, it was so crazy. The first week after that happened, I couldn't even like touch my foot.
Oh yeah,
Nothing could brush up against it.
pretty brutal.
It was what they call a Liz Franck break,
What's
which
that
is
mean?
basically the tendons that hold your foot
Yeah,
together.
there are a lot of little bones down
They
there.
blew.
Oh wow.
So what they had to do was go in with two screws
Uh,
and two plates. These screws are hollow, so they basically go in sideways with these screws and then run a cable through them,
uh-huh.
attach it to one plate, run them through, basically cinch my foot together and
Oh
attach it to
wow.
the other plate.
God damn, and the plates are still in there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow. So does it keep? So do the plates keep your foot in like a stationary position, or does it allow flexion? And because you know how like when you put your foot down, it expands.
Yeah.
Does it allow for
Yes,
that
because
movement?
that's what the tendons are for. Your bones are basically held in with those tendons. Well, those tendons
Yeah.
are still able to flex, obviously.
Yeah, I just didn't know if the plate
But
restricted any
yeah,
motion.
this is here. I'll show you the scar. It's
Show me,
pretty. It's
dude.
pretty gnarly.
Holy cow. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably like what my scar on my hand. I had surgery on my
They
hand.
basically went in there, but those screws go through right there,
Yeah.
and then they just basically cinched the bones together.
Huh.
But like I was saying, when it first happened,
Yeah.
obviously some of the most pain I've ever been in.
I imagine
With your
so.
foot. But let's see. Through the winter sucked completely. Like I was aching nonstop. My feet were just killing me.
Yeah.
About 2 months ago, I felt like I was actually playing basketball with my 10-year-old. I love playing basketball.
Okay.
I was playing basketball with my 10-year-old, and I was able to launch again. Have a little bit of explosion
Yeah, jump.
without it freaking me out.
Yeah.
Because before I could feel it. You go to explode, and your foot's like, not
Yeah.
yet, man, not
Yeah.
yet.
You gotta give it time.
But I played basketball with him, and I was like, I actually feel good. So, well, then while he was in basketball, I would take him to practice, and I would run on the track above, and got to where like it feels good. It doesn't hurt every day anymore,
Nice.
you know. And like I said, that happened last July.
Yeah. So you're coming up on a year, not even a year out yet.
Yep.
Man, yeah, that's super recent. You ever tried to do any like CBD creams or anything on it?
Uh, I did get. I got like a coconut aloe vera like weird cream that my wife got that's supposed to. I don't know if it's CBD or not. I'll get back with you on it, but she like mixed it in and it basically made it, I guess, took out some of the inflammation.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel a difference at the time because by that time I was already starting to feel better, because I could, before I couldn't touch it. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't even touch my foot.
Yeah. It was
I
just
had
so
to walk
painful.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
I went back to work after 3 months, and I thought I made a mistake. I thought, maybe I came back to work a little too soon.
Really.
Maybe I should have actually went to rehab and
Yeah,
had them work this
you
out
should
more.
definitely do that. So, dude, one of the best things you could do, to be honest, man, is just walk around barefoot as much as possible.
Well, I don't like shoes. I even used to have those five fingers.
Yeah.
Those, what were they?
Those Vibrams.
Yeah, the Vibrams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vibrams. I got those for Christmas a couple years ago, and I wore those everywhere.
Yeah.
What I didn't like about them, they give you the socks. The socks made my feet like cramp.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I can't do the socks.
Huh.
But I could wear them without the socks.
Yeah.
But going back to the barefooted thing, when I lived with my wife now, I lived with her and her mom before we bought our house.
Yeah.
And they had like a big, like 30 acres of field. Well, anytime it would like rain a little bit, I would cut me out a section of that field, and that's what I was running in because I was training at destruction and doing that. I would run barefooted. I never wore shoes running. I feel that's why I like to run too. People give me shit for running because they're like, that ain't good for you. Not as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, here we go.
What?
Because there's other guys that I know that are like, man, you can't run. That's just too bad on your body.
There's nothing wrong with running. It's just you just want to make sure that you're running.
Your feet are
Well, you're
yeah.
running correctly. You're landing midfoot. So many people are heel strikers that are landing too much on their toe, which I've been guilty of both, which is why I know, right? Like, I mean, I've definitely like done the heel striking, which felt really comfortable, but I know it's just like fucking wrecking my hips.
Oh yeah.
And then like I went too far forward, and then I started doing too much on my toe, and then like my fucking knees would start hurting. So like now, I run at a pretty slow pace. I try to keep my heart rate like really low, and then I run for a really long time is usually the goal. But I try to strike midfoot, and like I switched to barefoot shoes, and I wear sandals all the time, and like I'm just very conscious of my feet. So it's like it's not necessarily that I think running's bad. It's just I know there are a lot of ways to do it, and it may not be the best. Like if like you don't have the capacity or the form, not necessarily you, just
No, no,
anybody in
no.
general.
I'm a I guess you could call it like a toe runner.
Yeah.
Like I land on my toes and launch. Like
Yeah.
Like try to get big strides. I have pretty short legs, so I don't have big strides.
Yeah.
So I try to get that. I think just running.
Yeah, and I mean you can do some stride length things and whatnot. There's some stretching and whatnot, but like the where you land can really affect everything.
No, I agree. I definitely have some issues with it. The thing about running is, I feel great running.
Yeah, well if you enjoy it, dude, you enjoy it. Shit, it's that simple. It's all good.
Like not from the fitness aspect. It feels like
Yeah.
I just feel better running.
Yeah, you just
I'll
like
run
it.
at the gym. It's okay, but I'm there running it. When I'm running at the gym, it's for fitness reasons.
Yeah.
Whether I'm cutting weight, because that's another thing I'll tell you about. I started fighting and
Yeah.
cutting weight, and I don't sweat. I've never sweat.
You don't sweat. That
It-
doesn't sound right. Is that not that like that's not can't be normal, right? There's a name for people who don't sweat.
Not stinky.
No, for
No,
real, you
no,
don't
I
sweat?
swear.
There has to be
We're
some.
getting off topic a little bit, but
There is no off topic. There has to be some sort of name for that.
We'll have to look it up.
For real. All right, keep
It's one of
talking.
those things, and I'm not kidding. So I took a fight against a guy who bailed on one of my shows.
Yeah.
You know, main event, the guy bailed last minute,
Uh-huh.
like why everybody is in the cage
So
ready
you
to
took
go.
a fight with him?
Yeah, because he started talking shit on me on the internet.
Okay.
So I was like, you know, he's like, well, some short promoter ain't gonna talk shit to me.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you know,
You're not that short.
the short promoter will bust your ass.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Oh, I feel like you look so much taller. Maybe it's your shoes. You had heels on. That's probably what it
Look at
was.
you giving the Asics all that credit.
You looked a whole lot. I mean, 5'9" is not that short. I mean,
No,
probably give you a couple inches with those. You're probably about 5'11" when you walked in.
I was 6'6" when I came in here. No, but I ended up taking a fight against him and fought on Patrick's show,
Yeah.
Cage Champs. And I was like, you know what? This guy's kind of small. I was like 225 at the time. And I was like, I'll meet you at 130 or 190 catch weight.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll take that fight. So
He took it?
he took it.
You guys fought?
Yeah.
Nice.
I trained with a couple of the guys from Destruction still, but I trained mainly with Minky.
John Mickey?
John.
Yeah. That dude's a fucking wizard.
Oh my god! And he's so crazy. He wanted me to like kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like that's his mentality.
Yeah, I love John. He's a good guy.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. So you were talking about cutting weight.
Yeah. So I weighed 225. I took the fight. I fought this guy June 2nd. So I took it in early May.
Yeah.
So I had a month to cut from 225 to 190.
Yeah.
So basically, it was mainly running for me.
Really, you just
You
ran the
know,
whole time.
sauna suit, sweatshirt, sauna suit every day.
So you had to sweat something. Yeah,
That was the only. But if I just run, even with a sweatshirt, I'll take that off and it'll feel dry.
really.
I don't. If we were to go outside, well, not right now because it's kind of cool out there. But
But
you
you're
won't
able-
even see me.
But you're able to like physically sweat.
Oh, it can happen.
It just takes
It
a lot.
just. I basically got to push my body up to like 100-degree weather with a sauna suit and a hoodie on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's some fascinating shit, dude.
And I was drinking 2 gallons of water a day,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
You piss a lot?
kinda.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I'm like a overly crazy pisser, you know.
Huh.
Just it's so weird. People can't believe it.
Yeah, it
You know.
sounds crazy. Shit, dude.
Where I work upstairs, it gets like 120, 130 degrees. I
Yeah.
go up there and those guys are dying. And
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me one bit.
Really? No, I like the heat. I usually have a pretty high like
yeah.
tolerance point.
Yeah, it's pretty warm in here now.
Is it?
Yeah.
In here?
Yeah.
For real? Well, you have a sweatshirt on.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I like it. I'm one of those guys that likes 90 to 100-degree weather. It just feels good to me.
I wonder the temperature is in here. I think it's only like 70 something. Maybe not even that warm. We're in like the basement
I went to
building.
was it last year? No, the year before. My brother got married in Vegas, and we went in July.
Oh yeah.
117 when we were there.
Dude, I was there last August. It was fucking hot.
But
Yeah.
what's funny is we're going this July.
Are you?
Yeah, July 18th we fly out, and oh my god, it's gonna be like 120.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. What are you going for?
A bachelor party.
A bachelor party?
But I'm not. When it comes to Vegas, I'm not all crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of those guys. I sit down, enjoy the free drinks, and I'll just sit and play I play bubble craps. They don't have that shit in St. Louis.
Okay.
That is the coolest game ever.
What is it?
It's craps,
Uh-huh.
you know, normal craps, but instead of everyone at a table, you have like your own digital screen and you have your own station. And then there's like 7 seats around this and then a huge bubble in the middle.
Huh.
And the dice are like, you know, this big.
Uh-huh.
And
Are they like digital dice or real dice?
no, they're real.
Okay.
Because they like rumble
It rumbles
and then
you
pops.
Oh, okay.
But I'll sit there for 6 hours straight, you know, just drinking frozen margaritas and Jack and Cokes. That's what I order together.
And they're free?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're playing?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What are the stipulations to get free drinks?
You just got to be
You
playing.
just gotta be playing.
Yeah.
I know some people probably just play the like penny slots and shit like that. Try to get free
Oh,
drinks
I've
that
played
way.
that game. I like
Uh,
sit down somewhere, act like I'm paying, or yeah, playing.
yeah.
They bring me drinks and get back up. But
That
I've had that shit. The last time I was there, that shit backfired on me
really why?
because my buddy's playing this horse game. It's like basically like the real horse derby.
Yeah.
So he's betting, and I sit down. I'm like, I need a drink. You know, I order a Jack and a Mellow Yellow or a Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
So I order it, and I'm waiting forever. I'm waiting like half an hour, and I'm thinking, God, where did she go? Well, meanwhile, here I am playing this game, you know, losing money, and I'm like, I got to get up and go somewhere else, man. I'm like $60 down.
Shit.
So I turned around, and there's one of those craps machines with no one there, and I turn around and I start playing that. Man, within a couple minutes, I'm down another $50.
Damn,
I'm
dude.
like, this drink is costing me too much money right now.
It's not
And
worth
I
it.
never even got it.
You never got it?
Never even got it.
Dang. Well, all in all, though, you're up still, it sounds like. It's just the one time, right?
Yeah. The first time I went, no, this last time I went, I actually did pretty good the first night.
Yeah.
The rest of the nights were okay, but
Yeah.
when it was all said and done, after all the trip was paid, they basically paid me $36 to go there.
Nice.
So to me, that's a win, you know.
Dude, hey, you made a little bit of money, dude. You had a good experience. Yeah, I'm not much of a gambler. It's not my scene. I went to Vegas last year for a jiu-jitsu tournament for Worlds, and I was like, man, I'm not even gonna like Vegas, dude. I fucking love
You don't have,
Vegas.
yeah. I was telling someone that yesterday. You don't have to gamble to enjoy Vegas.
You really don't, dude. I fucking loved it. And the last night we were there, dude, like we went to Fremont Street, so like the old strip.
Yeah.
And bro, we got one drink. It was like a tequila sunrise, and I don't know how, like the glass was like this big, and 3/4 of it was all tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Man, like he used the bartender poured. I think I can't remember how many drinks he poured total, but he used a fifth for just like 3 drinks. It was fucking insane. Like, I had that one drink the whole night, and it's had such a great time. There's just people everywhere. Fucking, there's freaks to look at, and this like, what is going on? It was chaos. We just had a
I
good
love
time.
it. I love it because you can go to Vegas, and I was telling my nieces yesterday, you can go to Vegas and you could be wearing a banana costume, topless,
Oh,
and no one gives a
no one
shit.
gives a fuck. It's the freak show in like the best way. Like I loved it so much. We just had such a good. We started a conga line. Like we were fucking getting wild. It was a good time.
And the talent there is unbelievable. Like some of the street performers, you're like,
Oh,
my
yeah, dude.
God.
They all have like these little circles that they stand in, and they're all performing. Yeah, we saw this one rapper kid, and yeah, he was killing it. He was just freestyling and just doing like just picking the people in the crowd and just going off of it. Now you know what? I'll tell you where they were slacking because I saw a whole bunch of street performers whenever I was down at the pier in San Francisco. They didn't have signs with them to say where you could send money. Like in San Francisco, all the performers they had like little signs with like their Venmo handle and their PayPal handle,
Oh, yeah?
and like their social handles. They're like follow me and like, you can send money here. So they made it super, and it makes sense in San Francisco, right? Because it's a very shit. I mean, it's like a tech hub, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, people in Vegas need to learn like. For real, like who doesn't have at least one of those apps, like Cash App or Venmo or PayPal? I have all of them.
I wonder because a lot of those street performers have this like persona. I'm sure some of them are, but they have this persona like they're dirt poor. So I'm wondering if they were to think, hey, if they think I have all these, all this access to the technology to be paid at anywhere or to have all these social media accounts, I wonder if they think it'd take away from their aura a little bit.
I mean, maybe if they're just sitting there begging, but I think if they're like actually like, this is my craft or this is my like, I'm here to make money, like this is what I'm doing, then they need to make it as easy as possible for people to pay them. And who doesn't have a cell phone, dude? Those services are free. Apps are free.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, you're right. It seems like some of them, like I go down there and I see these guys who are awesome guitar players and
Yeah.
they're playing on like a $20 piece of shit that no one in their right mind would actually play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they don't tune it all the way. I'm like, I know I can hear you play. I know you know how to tune that bastard, you know.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wonder if
Maybe they're just
that's part
being
of the game,
maybe they're just being lazy.
you know. Like like they always joke about the guys. What movie was that on where he's begging and then all of a sudden pulls off his rags and then un he basically reveals a Lamborghini that he's driving or a
I've seen that.
BMW or something,
I've
you
seen a
know.
commercial like that, and I'm sure it's been in movies too. Yeah. Dude, those panhandlers can make a lot of money. I don't know if there was, I don't know where the information was gathered, but I'm pretty sure I heard like a report or read something, or it's probably one of those things that I heard I just never validated. But that, some of these panhandlers are making, 50, 60, 70 a year.
I believe it.
You know what I
I
mean? Just
100% believe
they
it.
work in the right corner, just
I mean,
killing it.
you may know people that are like, man, screw that. I ain't putting money in that. But because I know those people, but I also know those people that'll put in $5 or $20.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's there. It's there.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
One time, we were in Farmington and we saw a whole family like on the corner. Something struck me. And trust me, I'm not a super asshole. Some people would disagree,
We're all
but
the bad guy in
I'm
some
also
story.
not like heartless. So, we go to Walmart. They're at the end, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, that's not sitting right with me. They have because it's kind of hot outside. They have a father, daughter,
Yeah.
and the mom, and we ended up buying some groceries and just bringing them out, but they were gone.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, well, shit.
Should have
I,
said something to him.
well, this was beforehand.
Yeah,
I
you
was
just
like,
decided while you're inside.
yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
it was just kind of bouncing around in my head. Like, you know
Yeah.
what? I need to do something about that.
Yeah.
And I guess they had moved on.
Yeah, I get it, man. It's good to put out that positive energy in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be completely honest. I am not a super. I wouldn't say I'm a negative person, but I'm not. I kind of play that middle. I try to be in a good mood all the time, but I always see the negative and stuff too.
Really?
And
Yeah.
and I don't want to. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where I'm like, even the wife the other day was like, God, you're always talking shit on something. I'm like,
I try to
can't-
keep it as positive
I
as
can't
possible.
help it.
Yeah. But it is hard, man. I have a lot of like negative self-deprecating thoughts. Like I'm just so fucking hard on myself. I was listening, I don't know what I was listening to or who it was, but they were saying that maybe it was I was just watching this is it The Shop? LeBron James has this show on HBO. It's like short little 5 episodes, like they're like 20 or 30 minutes, just conversations, them sitting in the barbershop. And really good episodes, actually. But I think one of the persons said that, like, you talk to yourself more than anybody. Like, like nobody talks to you more than yourself.
Oh
So
yeah.
I have a lot of I'm always telling myself, like, yeah, you got to do more. You're like, you're not doing enough. So I've been working on, like, being more positive in that regard. But I try to keep it pretty fucking
So
positive.
do you talk to yourself?
All the time, yeah. Constantly.
I always think
Does
like
that
I'll stop
do people not?
myself.
Who
I'll
doesn't?
stop myself and question myself. That's talking to myself. Like,
Dude, I'm so weird. Sometimes I'll be like, can I have an issue where like I'll replay um, conversations in my head and like I'll just randomly like say something out loud from the shit that I'm going over in my head, whether it's a conversation that I had or just thinking about something. I'll just randomly say something out loud.
I
My
feel like
girlfriend will
that
hear me,
too.
my kids will hear me. They're like, "What the fuck is he doing?" We'll be in the car. I'll just be randomly saying stuff. I'm a weirdo, dude.
I feel like that sometimes with myself. Like I'll be talking to myself, and I guess everyone does, right? I guess everyone has an inner monologue that.
I would think so.
But when you start interacting
Maybe.
with it, then it's an issue. if if yourself is telling yourself something and then yourself gets onto them,
Yeah.
then you got some problems.
Yeah,
And I think that's how I am too.
Your voice is just a little weird.
Am I peaking?
No, you're. It was a little bit there, but you're good. It's all good. Um, yeah, man. I guess it's only an issue if you're fucking crazy
So let's get back to MMA. Where are you at now with that?
with MMA.
I'm not talking about just competing. I'm talking about training, competition, and watching, spectating.
I don't really watch at all. I've never. So here's the thing. I've never really been like a fan of sports. Not really ever. I kind of tried growing up because like most of my friends were, and you just kind of want to fit in, so you kind of try it. So but I never really cared about following sports. So I did watch fighting, in the beginning, and I was a fan for a little bit, but now like I'll go to fight shows. If like Tracy will have him at his house or something, and I just go just to hang out with everybody. I really don't care too much about the fights. Now, if there are some good fights, I can still appreciate good
Well,
fights.
you know what good fighters are.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I can still appreciate it. So like I'll look them up like after the fact on like MMA Core. I'll watch some fights on there, but I'm not really too big of a fan. Like I don't follow it or really take too much time to watch fighting. Now, as far as training, I pretty much just do jujitsu these days. I do actually hold pads, so I am training a young up and comer, Jackson Henson. This kid's a fucking savage. So his dad is Sammy Henson, who is he was a world gold medalist, Olympic silver medalist wrestler. I think he also took bronze at Worlds. Just
holy cow.
yeah, dude's just a savage. And so yeah, this kid is man, he's definitely going to be something special. So I've been working with him on striking and just kind of from a strategic MMA perspective, and I'm excited to see what's going on with him. But other than that, man, that's kind of my involvement in MMA. I hold pads for some people if like they want to learn striking. I teach some kids some striking, but yeah, that's about it. I work with Shamrock capturing content for their social. So
Oh yeah, they're killing it, man.
oh yeah, Shamrock's killing it. So it's really nice working on that team and being in with those guys. The thing is, man, I love Jesse Finney. I don't know, man. You hear mixed reviews all the fucking times, but that guy's been nothing but good
Well,
to me
I won't
forever.
lie. I might have said something in passing, like
Yeah,
about Jesse, when completely honest. Maybe I didn't know the whole situation or something, and I'm like, eh.
yeah,
But then when I've talked to him and worked with him, like we've worked through different fighters. He came to me one time asking about a fighter and asked if it'd be okay. Hey, I know this guy fights for you.
yeah,
No one does that. To
yeah.
me, that right there alone is like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were starting to talk. I was like, "Look, dude," I'm kind of saying the same thing I'm saying to you. Like, I only go by my experience. And anytime I go, so like, when did this happen? Because anytime you ever hear anybody talking shit, they always talk about something. They're always really vague, and it's always about something that happened a long time ago. And I'm always like, hey, look, I have no doubt that maybe there was some shit that rubbed some people the wrong way, or maybe he did do something back in the day. But like, okay, how long has he been in this game? Like, you're gonna judge somebody from when they were like a young
Yeah,
man?
yeah,
Like, I don't know. Everything that I've ever dealt with has been fantastic. So I mean, I love working with Shamrock. They're fucking killing
yeah.
it.
I mean, like I said, I might have said something here and there. I might not have. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
But I think Jesse said something like, "Oh, you done talking crap on me?" And I just laughed it off because I might have said something and I don't know. Or
yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah,
I might not have had a good reason. I might have had a good reason. Hell, I don't remember.
yeah,
But, I can't, we just moved past that. And I'm aware enough to know that what he's doing is good for our area.
yeah, dude. They're fucking killing it. So yeah, I really enjoy just working on that team and capturing content for those
Oh, yeah.
guys.
So, I mean, it's always been one of those things where I'm like, I appreciate it. I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
what they do. Another thing is they're all about the production. That's
dude.
what I love.
They create a show. You talk about an experience.
It's
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah, dude. They just had their show this past
Yep.
was it Saturday?
Yep.
Friday it was. And dude, it was yeah, it was a sold out crowd, and like in the beginning like if there wasn't that many people there, but they trickled in, and like dude, it filled up fast. It was a good card.
It was him locking down the casinos. I mean, that's just brilliant.
Oh yeah.
That's just Jim did it for a little bit at Ameristar.
Yeah.
And me and him were good buddies for a while. No one liked Jim Jenkins, but
Yeah.
I talked to the guy
I like Jim too.
because he
Yeah.
was one of those guys that he was in it for the money for the most part, but he would tell you that.
Yeah.
Like, this is my job. This is important to me. Here's how many ticket. Everything was ticket amount.
Yeah.
You might not like that, but you got to respect it because he's not playing a game.
Now, here's also the thing about Jim. Jim is legitimately probably like the best matchmaker in the whole
Oh,
fucking
he does great.
state. Like, yeah, he's really fucking good at like making very even matches and like good matchups and styles and different things, which was almost to a fault because that's kind of what he relied on as a business model is putting on good fights, and it's more about the experience in the
See,
show.
I agree. Early on, I didn't like this amateur record. Like, oh, this guy could only fight this guy, or he could only fight. Because I knew guys coming up that were 0 and 0 that would obliterate guys. I
Yeah,
mean, there was no doubt about it.
yeah,
I've seen it.
yeah,
And I'm thinking, we cannot put this guy up against another.
yeah,
Even if he saves 3-0, you can't put him up against him. He's going to hurt him.
yeah,
And through the commission at the time, I would go back and forth with Coop. I'm like, I'm telling you, man, he's legit.
yeah,
There's some that I was probably wrong, and Coop's probably seen 100 of them where people are like, oh, this guy's the next coming, and then he comes in there and he stinks the place up.
yeah,
But I was telling Coop, I'm like, listen, man, this kid is. You don't want him fighting new guys. And sure enough, put him up against like an 0 and 1 guy or a 1 and 0 guy, and it was a complete massacre. Then you put him up against another guy who was decent, but he had a losing record. Say he's like 3 and 5, and it's a massacre. And then I put him up against a guy who was like 8 and 1 or 8 and 2, and he destroys him. And I'm like, God. And then he just
yeah.
quits and goes to work.
Yeah,
Just doing whatever.
it happens a lot, man. You see a lot of young savages, and then they just life takes over.
One that comes to mind, Austin Knight. Dude was
Oh yeah,
awesome, man. He
yeah,
was awesome, but it was just one of those things where he didn't love it. A
yeah,
lot of people don't love it.
yeah.
I
We
thought it
can't do
was
it
fun.
forever either.
I thought it was fun. I knew I wasn't good enough
Yeah,
to do anything with it. It was for fun,
yeah. You see that all the time. You see it all the time, and that's kind of like what's driving your passion now, right? With like the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
and,
good segue into that. Do you wanna just
yeah, dude. Let's talk about it.
Well, yeah, I've wanted a YouTube channel. Man, I'm thinking back 2009, 2010
Yeah, you've been thinking about it all this time. You just started it like how many months ago?
in October.
In October, right? So
Yeah.
within less than 6 months, I mean, you got 1,100 followers. How many videos you got posted up?
I think I got 9 or 10.
9 or 10? So you
Yeah.
got 1,100 followers off of like 10 videos?
Yeah,
I mean, that's legit as fuck, bro.
it was crazy. I kind of sit stagnant. The first video I ever did, BS Sessions,
Yeah,
YouTube.
plug it, bro. Plug it.
BS Sessions. It's a guitar cover lesson.
Hmm.
Although my lessons aren't too in depth, I wouldn't call it the slimy route, but I want more followers when I start making 30, 40 plus minute videos of like in depth. I don't want it to be like sunken down in the algorithm, So I'm trying to build that following,
And then
and
give
then
that
I'll
content.
yeah, and then I'll start putting out like a lot more in depth. But then I also think of it, well, maybe the in depth videos will
Create more
bring.
content. I would just honestly, dude, I would just put it all out because people will find it and like you could always like reshare it, and, like
Oh yeah,
repost it, and
and we were talking offline earlier before we started this podcast. What's interesting is one reason I picked guitar is because it's got a rewatchability factor.
dude, guitars are dope. I love a guitar riff. Like some of my
I almost
favorite
brought my acoustic
solos.
up
You
here,
should have
man.
brought it,
I
bro.
almost brought
We
it
could
up
have
here,
been
and I was
fucking
like, no,
playing.
I don't
Yeah.
want to look like a tryhard.
Dude, it would have been awesome.
Bringing all my stuff.
I would have loved it. Yeah, no, I was talking to my buddy beforehand. He's like, dude, you should tell him to bring his guitar. And I'm like, dude, I should have told him to bring his guitar. But I was like, he's probably almost here now.
Damn it. Yeah, I would have too. I would
Yeah,
have brought it.
fuck.
I just bought a brand new one last Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dang, dude. That's always one of those things, man. Just like people can make those fucking things sing, dude. I love it.
I've been playing since I was 12 years old, and I'm 37 now.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as you would think with that much time because, like, we discussed a lot of things beforehand.
That happens all the time.
But I almost got rid of everything that I had except one acoustic.
Yeah.
I sold it all in 2008 and got dirt bikes
Yeah.
I've always been a writer, but I kind of wanted to get rid of all my music stuff, kind of move past the bands and all that stuff.
Yeah. Were you in a band?
I've been in a couple bands,
Okay.
St. Louis bands. Yeah, I've played some pretty good shows at some good venues too.
Yeah.
Like Mississippi Nights and a
Nice.
few shows at Pops. The bands were good. I enjoyed them. They're local bands.
Yeah.
So
Still a good time.
oh, it was a blast. But
Were you in Apollo's Daughter?
no, my brother was.
Oh, your brother's in that.
Or is, yeah.
Yeah. They're still a band, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure. Okay.
Yeah, they're good. He's definitely had more success in local bands than I have.
They're fucking. They won that one Battle of the Bands
Yeah.
thing, and yeah, that was pretty dope. That was probably
No, they're
what was
good.
that, a couple
Very,
years ago,
very
3 years
good
ago?
musicians.
How long ago was that? Like 3 years ago, 4 years?
Probably
ago?
3 years ago.
Three?
3-4 years ago.
Dude, time just flies. You never know.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you've been in some bands. You did the motocross.
Oh yeah,
thing.
no. I got rid of all my music stuff. My amps, my guitars, which I regret to this day.
Yeah.
I got rid of a guitar that I ordered for me and basically customized it for me and then sold it for little to nothing.
Ugh, it happens.
And what's crazy is I know the guy that has it.
Yeah.
And I almost offered him, no, I did offer him way more than I should have for it because I just want it back.
Yeah.
And he's like, he was there and then was just like, nah, I can't get rid of it. And I can't blame him because I had it set up perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect guitar.
It
But, that's just that's the way it goes.
happens.
But I kept an acoustic and sold it all and bought dirt bikes. Bought a dirt bike for me, the wife, and that's what we did for a couple years.
Yeah.
And I've always missed playing guitar, like electric guitar.
Yeah.
So, you want to go to guitar and then talk about YouTube, or?
I mean, it's all kind of relevant, right?
Yeah, it'll all fade together in the end,
Yeah.
So,
We got time still.
yeah, YouTube. I always wanted to have a YouTube account. My brother and I talked about this. Another brother of mine, he actually has a YouTube account that he did in like 2011, like old Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops videos. And we were all about that YouTube money, because then it was like around that 2009 time, people are like, oh man, they're getting like YouTube money. Because I think at the time, like YouTube would give you like a debit card and charge us, or that's how people always acted, like that Epic Meal Time. I don't know if you've ever watched any other videos. They come out with the stupidest shit, but it's hilarious. Like fast food lasagna.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a lasagna with like Big Macs on the bottom.
Oh,
Bacon.
Yeah. I've seen that shit.
Well, they were one of the biggest ones that started.
Really?
And they were making that YouTube money. They always talked about it.
A lot of people are making a lot of money for a while, and then I know YouTube kind of changed their monetization
Yeah,
structure.
I think in like 2015 or 2016, things changed up quite a bit. And then last year, things changed up quite a bit.
Yeah, I know people are talking about how just overnight the amount that they were making just was like cut in half.
Yeah, it's, it does suck. I like it in a way because that almost takes the saturation out also.
Yeah.
If you can't just get in and make a bunch of money, you're going to have a lot of people just not even mess with it.
Yeah.
Because just like anything else, they saw that as an easy way to make money. Hey, I can just make stupid videos and make some money.
Yeah.
And that's not the case anymore. You have to put some time into it.
Yeah.
And especially now because you're fighting everybody else's cool thumbnails, and which is my favorite part, by the way, is
Doing
making
the
thumbnails.
Yeah. What do you use?
Photoshop.
Photoshop.
I pay for all Creative Cloud.
Okay.
So I got Audition, Photoshop, and
Lightroom.
Premiere Pro is what I use
Okay.
for everything.
Nice.
But so YouTube has always been an interest to me. I just never knew how to almost get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, like I was telling you before we started this podcast, I didn't want to be a guitar YouTuber.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a gaming
You
YouTuber.
do gaming. You gotta go to Stitcher for that shit.
Yeah, man, you gotta
Do people do gaming on YouTube?
gaming?
Yeah. Like
Oh
on
my
YouTube.
God, yeah.
Is streaming on YouTube for gaming popular?
Streaming changed a little bit because Twitch took over streaming.
Yeah.
But they
You
still
just
go
wanna,
live.
like make videos.
Yeah.
You record them and then
Yeah,
post
just
them?
commentate.
Oh, okay.
What I grew up on, like as far as the Call of Duty era goes.
Yeah.
Because that's my main game is Call of Duty. I played Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 in 2007, and no matter how shitty the Call of Duty is, I buy it every single year,
Yeah,
and
it's your
I
jam.
I fall into the hype, and I'm like, yeah, here we go. This is gonna be the year. And then I'm like,
I always
God,
suck at that shit. I get so frustrated, man, because like they're just people are just too good. I don't have the time to get that good.
I'm pretty good. I'm not great. I'm pretty good.
Dude, my brother would just fucking clean house on Call of Duty. I'm like, I can't keep up with this kid.
The thing about it is you have to keep playing or it moves without you. It's
Oh,
like everything else.
100%. Dude, these guys are next level, man. Like, I don't have the time to get
I
as
feel
good as
like
these
I feel
people.
like my grandpa when I'm like, back in my day, I held a 3.0 KD, you little shit. That's how I feel. But then I'll play for, like this newest Call of Duty. I played with my nephew. And he's a phenom. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, God, we need to start your channel up. I'll produce it
Yeah.
because he's on another level.
Yeah,
You
just
know.
start with that. Start with the talent. Yeah, you have to learn to swallow your ego, and people
Oh
are younger start fucking you up in video games, right? Because at a certain point, right, it was all the older people that beat you, but then it's like, all right, well then you beat the younger people, but now it's just like age doesn't even matter.
no,
It
and they
doesn't.
start so early.
Man, you got these phenoms that are like 7, 8 years old, and
Well,
they're just number one, number
this
two, number
guy,
three in the world.
I don't know too much about it because I don't play Fortnite, but this kid Mongrel, he's like 13 or 14 years old, and like this guy just destroys everybody.
Yeah.
Like he plays with a keyboard like all vertical and like it's gnarly. And I'm like, how? How are you
Whoa.
at 13,
Yeah.
and you're doing this to pros? Like
Yeah.
he's destroying like pro players.
So why not? So why not go the video game route? Why the guitar route?
When I would say almost like a crutch. Talking about egos. This I'm in almost like a midlife, I wouldn't say a crisis, like a midlife awakening
You're just trying to
that I'm trying to get rid of this ego that I've had my whole life.
just
You know,
psychedelics, bro.
when I started
Crush your ego.
like MMA, when I started and I came in, I thought I was tough. And I was tough, but I wasn't technically tough.
Yeah.
I've always been able to hold my own. I was always an asshole. I always got into fights. I look back now and I'm like, God, that guy was a jerk off.
Yeah.
He needed his ass
You're
kicked.
not that same guy.
Maybe I needed my ass whooped in high school. It didn't happen like it should have.
Hmm.
Trust me. I tell the story like people were talking about the good old days, and I'm like, I'm not the good guy in my story when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I'm not this.
You're not the hero.
Yeah, I'm not the hero. I never shied away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat up some bullies, and yeah, I got into some mix-ups with guys pushing around their women or whatever, but I wouldn't say that I was the good guy in this because once I saw that opening, I let's
Yeah.
wedge that in here. So no matter what, I'm in a conflict.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was the adrenaline rush was fun.
Yeah.
When I first started going to Destruction MMA, I kind of got, I wouldn't say greenlit, but like Eric, was like, it's
Yeah.
time to chill you
Yeah,
out a
humble
little
you.
bit. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done the same thing or know at least some people that have, but it got to the point where I was pushing my body so much and taking a beating, but then being successful where I was like an emotional wreck some days.
Yeah.
Leaving the gym, I'm pretty emotional.
Just exhausted.
And I'm like, what is going on with me right now?
Yeah.
I'm not an emotional person. Why is this happening? But it was like pushing your body to that limit. So that was when my ego started getting hit a little bit. I would say my ego started going back up a little bit when the NFA started growing. I was like, holy shit. Like, I see my T-shirts at Walmart. I see my T-shirts at, like, just random places. I'm like,
Yeah.
how weird is this?
Yeah, it's cool to see though.
So, yeah, I mean, that kind of swole my head a little bit, but I was aware of it. I'd never backed down or shied away from how my ego is at times.
Uh-huh.
But, fast forward to now, it's the same way. I know I'm not good enough at those games to run a channel off of it. I say that because you have to have either a lot of charisma or some badass playing or a little bit of both. I don't know if my delivery was good enough to host and commentate my own gameplay.
Might be. You gotta try it.
It's one. Well, what's funny is when I started the YouTube with guitar, I
Hmm.
started out like that, and I just listened to feedback. People are like, "You're talking too much. You're talking too long." So my first videos were me talking, explaining what I'm doing, and some people loved it. Some people liked it. No one said they hated it, but some people liked it, and some people were like,
Yeah.
maybe talk less." And I was like, I agree. I'm trying to get my balance
Yeah,
going.
man, you find your groove.
Well, then I got to where I took out my intros altogether. So
You,
now I don't talk.
you just play,
I just play.
and that's when you found success
It
as far as like
that's I don't
growing.
know. I don't know what happened.
How many
So
videos don't have you talking?
the last three.
The last three. Is that when you've seen the most growth?
No.
Okay.
This was what's odd with my channel. So I started in October. I put out a Hotel California solo video.
Yeah.
It had like, I don't know, a couple hundred views. It did okay. So just the title alone did good. And I had like 30 subscribers. I don't know if someone shared it or what happened, but in February, this thing hit a trend and was just like, whoop.
Yeah.
My overnight, and I'm not exaggerating. Overnight, my subscribers went from 30 to 170,
Oh shit.
and my views went from like 200 to like 700 on that
Nice.
video. I'm
That's
like,
legit.
what the hell? Like I didn't know what was going on,
That's
and
how
then
it
it just kept
works.
getting there, and now like that video has like 2,800 views,
Nice.
and in the past 3 months, I've went from 100 subs to or 200 subs to 1,100.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Because my newer videos, for the most part, they're not all getting. It's not all.
Yeah. Dude, you never know what the rhyme and reason is, but as long as it's
And if you
working.
look at it, you can't figure it out. You're like, okay, well, this video
You
got
bought them. That's what
2,800.
happened.
Huh?
You bought them. That's what
I
happened.
wish. But, it's crazy, man. It's one of those things where I'm like, this video did good. This video did not do well.
Hmm.
This video did good. Then two that did okay. I'm like, what is causing these to trend? Obviously, if I knew that answer and that answer was able to be found in the algorithm,
Yeah.
everyone would be successful,
Yeah.
you know. But like
Hey,
I was
man,
saying earlier,
it's a puzzle.
if I take out the success of YouTube, not now, I don't consider myself successful on YouTube, but if I take out wanting that success, I feel like I'm gonna live a less what, how am I trying to explain this? I'll live a life where I'm less stressed out over it. Because when I started seeing that growth, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I got to get to work.
Yeah, you start getting like anxiety over the
Yeah,
numbers
and
and
I don't
shit.
want that because then I'll start
Yeah.
hating it. And it got to that point already.
I feel you.
Already I'm like, I don't want to go do a video. I don't want to. What's funny, if you see all my outtakes of me messing up,
Yeah.
I was just talking about this to my brother and his wife yesterday. Because, here I am doing a 6-minute solo, and at the end, I'm like, and I'm like, fuck. Because I'm doing it all in one takes. I'm not trying to copy and
Oh,
paste
yeah.
it. And I've only have one camera, too. Like a lot of guys play that game where they can, if they're switching cameras on and off, you can edit. And
Yeah, because you're chopping it up anyway.
so I'm doing a full, like just a one take.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here we go. And some of my outtakes are me like, clicking for the tracks so I can sync it up.
Yeah.
But some of them get harder. Like, and I'm knocking on my guitar like, come on, you son of a bitch. Like I'm talking to myself like, you got to get through this.
Yeah.
And, that's once it's all recorded, then it's all about putting it together. And,
Yeah.
God, that can be a pain in the
It's
ass.
definitely a process, man. It is definitely a process. I
But,
have to work through the same thing just putting out the podcast.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to sync everything up. And
Yeah. Yeah. I
do you ever
understand.
cut up your videos or you just let them fly?
No, yeah, I don't chop up the videos or like any of these conversations. So I'll go back and I'll record like an intro and add music. But yeah, I don't actually do any editing to the actual conversation or the video. I mean, if this were live, which I definitely want to work towards, doing more live stuff. mean, there really wouldn't be any editing. So, I mean, there's probably a couple conversations where I've thought like, I mean, I probably could have edited that, like made it better. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how these conversations go. So, yeah,
Well,
man.
I mean, it's really chill here. You know, it's
Yeah,
not a.
it's just conversation.
I almost like that there's not a like a structure like that. Like, okay,
Yeah,
now it's time to get here.
yeah,
You're pretty good already about segueing into stuff,
yeah.
but it's not a fake segue. You know, it's not like.
I try to keep it
So,
natural.
anyways, you know,
I
we're
didn't
talking
listen to a
flatter,
word. Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't listen to a word you just said. Let's talk about this now.
And you do see that in other podcasts, you know, where
Yeah,
they're talking about something and then all of a sudden they move and you kind of go back like, what did I miss? You know, was this cut up?
yeah.
You know, it's kind of odd.
It does happen. It does happen. Well, brother, we do gotta wrap this up. I gotta go do a couple things. It's been great having you sit down. I'm gonna leave the floor to you. So anything you want to plug, obviously plug the YouTube again. Whatever you want to talk about.
Um, just go to my YouTube channel, BS Sessions. It's got a sweet logo. I'm proud I made. Basically just BS Sessions, and it's just guitar videos. I'm trying to think. I don't really do anything else. I don't have Snapchat or I don't use Instagram or
You're on
any of that
Instagram or
stuff.
oh, dude, man, you gotta get on there, start advertising, bro.
Yeah, I'm behind on times. Like I said, I mean,
Oh,
it's one of those things. I'd like to come back on and some of the stuff I really love talking about. I love
yeah.
talking about the whole social media, the way it works and stuff. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. We'll definitely have another conversation. So, all right, brother. I will, or we will, we'll get off of here. All right, everybody. Until
thank
next,
you.
until next time.